If you can snatch some pictures from the internet about even Chris Brennan and Russ, whatever, you know what I mean? Just to make reference. Even if we're talking about his sons, at least he's up there. The man's proud of his sons. And we're live. Good evening. Welcome to Full Contact Fanatics. My name is Dondo, my good friend and brother here. I'll go by the real name, 86. Almost slipped. After all
what
this
up?
time.
Dude, careful, dude.
I know,
There's
careful.
people that want me dead.
That's right. That's why we have the aliases. So
Yeah.
they're pretty close to our real names, but you know what's up. Anyways, we got a full packed show here for you.
Always.
Minus a guest or two is okay in between. We are trying to set up the real deal here and there and want to make sure we pick the right people. So we've had fights over the weekend. We had
Tough finale.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if anybody saw, again, to quote Conor McGregor's, I think it was like a tweet or an Instagram rant, a fight with fighters fighting, something along those lines. And that's what it was.
Yeah.
For the life of me, I cannot pronounce the gentleman's last name.
Gaethje?
Yeah.
Is it Gaethje or Gaethje? I don't
something
know.
along those lines. And Michael Johnson.
Yeah.
And, both brought the heat, dude.
Whoa, we're going to the top of the card. I don't know. We should start at the bottom or the top, but
Oh, you know what? Fuck it. Let's start from the bottom. And real quick, before we go on, always a shout out to our homeboy Jason House, who had another fighter on there. Jeez, man.
yeah, that was
You know,
incredible. It
yeah.
was Drakkar.
Yes, Drakkar Close.
Close, yeah.
Close, how
Yeah, no, it is an incredible fight, too.
German last name. I don't know how he would prefer to pronounce it,
Yeah.
but anywho.
That's Henry's training partner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's our boy Henry Corrales' guy too. So
Out of MMA Lab and
Or-
Vincent
yeah.
Henderson's boy, too. They were
that's
all
right.
there.
Yep. So let's see if we can get a card pulled up here to recap. But anywho, so yeah, we had the tough finale. Then we had the pay-per-view. I believe it was 213 on Saturday, which also the card took a bit of a slip up, but that's all right. Somebody pulls through with it, adds something here, adds something there.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I guess the main girl Nunes pulled out from sinusitis, something like that. Whatever.
It's all good. You know,
Yeah,
it is what it is.
But strangely enough, the free card, you get the tough finale. It doesn't cost you a dime, and it winds up being a stacked card full of beautiful fights.
Yep.
I mean, just inspiring fights. The guys are really throwing in. They're trying to make a name for themselves.
And you got guys who've been with the UFC for a while who are still trying to stay there. And here we go with Gray Maynard against Teruto Ishihara. I think Maynard came away with this one. I think he won a unanimous decision, was it? Yep. Cool. And then we had Juliana Lima versus Tesha Torres. Wait, what am I? Oh, there you go.
Torres is super compact.
Yeah.
And kind of making a name for herself. I really like her style. It was an interesting fight. Rear naked choke, finished that one up in like 53 seconds of round 2. But it was cool because I liked when they finished with jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, for
She
sure.
softened her
That's
up,
always cool.
beat her up for a round, and then took the rear naked choke.
Yeah. And then we had two vets, UFC vets, CB Dollaway and Ed Herman. And, I mean, dude, you can remember years ago watching those dudes fight. CB Dollaway, I remember he came from one of the tough finales.
Yeah, he's here in San Diego, too, I think, because I remember seeing a lot of events down that way at the Indian casinos down there where CB Dollaway was coming up. So
Okay.
he must be from one of those schools down there.
Yeah.
And then Ed Herman, of course, from Tough, one of the early Toughs, probably the Tito
think
Tito
so, yeah, you're
versus
right, yeah.
Shamrock
One of those, yeah.
season. I think he was on there. It's probably
And, Dollaway taking that by a 3-round decision.
yeah.
After that, we had James Krause and Tom Galecchio. Galecchio, I'm
Galecchio,
sorry.
yeah.
Totally mispronounced that. My bad.
Where's your Italian?
I'm the farthest thing from it.
I don't know. Your hair's pretty slick there, greaser.
And we had James Krause taking that one away with a 3-round decision as well. Then we had Miss Angela Hill. Always comes out like dressed like whatever's the hot thing. I think she was like freaking a Pokemon or something or other at her weigh-ins one of her last fights. She walked away with a unanimous decision. But
She's
what's
a-
her thing,
I think
Robert? I,
she's a
know you're all
cosplay
into
chick.
that nerdy
Well,
shit.
you are a cosplay guy, huh? You got a big Pikachu outfit.
Whatever, dude.
Pick the microphone up, producer
into that
Robert.
nerdy shit.
The only one that I remember was Shio Sagat from Street Fighter.
Oh yeah, that's right. No, and then after that, she was the dude from Pokemon, whatever the hell his name is.
Is that cosplay when you dress like Sagat?
Yeah.
It is? So you know. Don't act like you don't know.
Yeah, Robert.
He won't engage us in conversation. He wants to steer clear of this.
Yeah. All right. After that, we had Marcel Fortuna against Jordan Johnson. Let's see. I believe it was another decision.
Yeah.
Jordan Johnson came away with a 3-round decision.
It was unanimous.
Yep. Again, we had Brad Tavares against Elias Teodoro.
Teodoro, yeah.
Again, Brad Tavares, another.
He was
old
throwing
vet.
punches, throwing
Yep.
kicks, lighting him up in the first round. Again, in the second round, Tavares defeated him again by unanimous decision. So a lot of decisions, man. I wish people would finish.
Yeah.
You don't want to leave it to the judges. I mean, I really believe that one was judged right, but so often it's so questionable.
No, I hear you, dude.
But
And
take it
if,
away.
you know,
Jared
what else we
Cano-
got? Jared Cannonier against Nick Rowerick. I'm bad with these last names, man. I shouldn't freaking be trying to even say them. But
Yep.
anyways, this one actually ended 3rd round TKO elbows,
Yeah.
right around 2 minutes or so.
Dusted him off with some punches and threw in those big elbows, and Big John McCarthy had to step in and end it.
Oh man!
After
yeah,
4 or
right.
5 unanswered blows,
Yep.
not intelligently defending himself.
Yep. And then we had our guy Jason House, our good friend Henry Corrales' partner Drakkar Close
Yep.
against Mark Daikise, I believe was his last name.
Yep.
And I don't know what the whole hooting and hollering was about after the end of the fight. I don't know if any of you guys caught that. You know, was it?
I don't know. It almost looked like Drakkar lost because of the way he was yelling, but I knew he had won, so I was confused. I've never seen someone so angry that won.
Oh, you know what I think it was? I think it was some shit talking going back and forth. That's
Yeah?
what I think. I think it was.
Well,
yeah.
Brian Stan stepped in. It looked like he was going to go after him for a second. I'm like, hey, what are you doing, mouthing off to the commentator?
Yeah, no, I think it was. I think it was. You know, I think it was just some heavy duty shit talking back and forth, and Drakkar won the decision. So,
He won right. I mean, it was a rightful decision, so it was
so
good.
shout out to him. Shout out to Jason House. Shout
Hell
out
yeah.
to Henry.
Jason's boys are stepping up.
I think there's a lot of hate because Daikesi is like he was a huge like prospect. Everybody thought he was next big thing because he throws all those crazy kicks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he's I think he's a UK guy, so
Yeah, he's
they
Englishman.
like to talk a little bit of shit. They kind of like what's that?
Michael Bisping.
No, not Michael Bisping. Well, yeah, Michael Bisping
Michael
too. But
Bisping.
what?
Bisping does say
Mi-
some stupid stuff.
Michael
Yeah.
Page.
Oh,
who's-
Paul Daly.
Paul
talks
Daly,
a
yeah.
lot of
So I
shit.
mean, I'm assuming. I mean, that's what I probably think happened, and Close caught some feelings on that, and
Yeah.
decided to let him know what's up after he won.
Fuck
Yeah.
it. Good fight nonetheless.
Yep. Landed
know?
a big right hand at the end of the fight, and that was it.
And then
It
they
was
had
done.
the Ultimate Fighter 25 welterweight tournament final between Diego Lima and San Diego. At least I knew him from San Diego. Him, I think he was
Temecula.
from San Diego. Or,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Temecula.
It's
right?
still
Jesse
down
Taylor.
there. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, close enough.
He's Randy, or not Randy. He's Dan Henderson's guy.
Yeah, I think actually last time he was on the Ultimate Fighter was when Dan Henderson was.
But he's out of Henderson's camp
Is
there,
he?
Team
Okay.
Quest. Am I wrong, producer Robert?
No, he's he's a team.
I
Team
don't
Quest
remember.
guy, yeah.
But this is actually his second stint on the Ultimate Fighter.
Well, it's been a couple years.
Yeah.
He gave it all he had and came up
Yep.
a little short the first time.
Yep.
No, he didn't
Not-
come up short at all. The first time, he won. His way to the finals,
and then he
won
lost
the
to
finals, and then he
not CB Dull.
No, he got kicked off the show because he won his semifinal, and then he went partying and then I think he kicked out the limousine's
Oh
glass
shit,
window.
that's right, dude.
Then
Yeah,
he came
yeah, yeah.
out, and then he was like talking crap about he's a UFC fighter to like the hotel people and all that. But yeah, I mean, I always thought Jesse Taylor was gonna be somebody, a good
Prospect, if you would.
yeah. And like, I mean, I don't know. I thought like, I don't know if you guys think that was like a harsh to just kill the kid's dream right there. I mean, he might have needed a slap on the hand, but that was kind of a huge slap on the hand, I guess, because he had the long route to get back.
I would say, I'll say this. If he made it that far, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, obviously we don't know how how bad he made himself look or made his.
It's not
parent
an even
company
playing
look.
field, though. There's no guarantee you're going to get back on, so you don't act like an idiot when
Yeah,
you know.
touche.
Come
Yeah,
on,
that's
you
what I was
keep your
gonna
game
say,
straight
yeah.
and you fight.
Yeah, that's it. And if anything, he should have waited to party after the whole thing was over.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
I'm
you're
saying?
trapped. You're stuck in that Ultimate Fighter house for how many weeks, right? You finally get released, and you're young. You're in your 20s. You know what I mean? You're excited. You're in Vegas. You're gonna party, dude. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
we know exactly what you did when you were young, Robert.
But so I mean, I can see how that happens.
But again, he hadn't actually he hadn't fought at the finals yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he wasn't at that.
So I mean, again, I totally understand because that shit sucks.
It does suck.
But but I'm saying he could have waited, a week or two or whatever.
You know what? Hats off to the dude. Anybody who does jiu-jitsu and watch that fight, he was all over his opponent. His opponent's Brazilian too. On top of it,
Oh yeah, that's
So,
fucking
throwing Diego Lima. So I don't know where he comes from, other than Brazil.
that's Douglas Lima's brother, dude.
yeah,
so-
ATT, I think ATT,
Taylor's
ATT,
jiu-jitsu and his wrestling was all over this guy. He was on him like a backpack. He was softening him up. He takes the rear naked choke, finishes it at the end, and walks away with a $290,000 check. I mean, I need a check like that. Anybody out there wants to support this cause? You can write me a $29 check. I'll take it all day long.
Hey, $20 is $20.
I'll take
dude.
it. Exactly.
And we had Jesse Taylor winning by
Rear naked,
rear
man.
choke.
Yep.
Second
RNC.
round to become the winner of this stint of Tough. So congrats to him.
Yep.
Definitely worked his ass off for it.
Yeah, I don't usually like I don't have a lot of people like on Facebook. I'm not one of those people that like, hey, let me just add this guy, add this fighter, add this fighter. I have a handful. Jesse Taylor is one of them, and then I remember he was asking everybody to like post this thing so he could get back on the comeback thing. So I was like, I don't usually repost shit, but I'll repost for Jesse Taylor.
Throw a brother a
I'm
bone.
throw him a bone. I mean, it's not like it made a difference or anything, but I mean, he did what he did, so I'm actually pretty happy about that one.
Maybe you did make a difference. Maybe the Russians didn't get involved with that vote. You never know. Right?
That's a good one, dude.
No telling.
Nice.
Every vote
nice,
counts.
Nice.
He,
Yep,
he
yes,
was
it
on the
does.
blue team. He was on the blue team.
But let's get to the big one.
Let's do it. Oh, dude, Justin G. That's what I'm gonna call the gentleman. Don't get mad.
I think
please,
it's
but
Gaethje.
Or you can just call him a silverback.
I don't want to butcher his last name.
Is that what he
Against
calls
Michael
himself?
Johnson.
I think so.
Wow.
Yo, I mean, I'm just gonna say, Johnson almost fucking knocking him out. you
Early stoppage, man. I mean, the guy buckled.
Fuck, man.
I thought it was done, personally.
Yo, watching it, I was just like, damn, dude. Like, Michael Johnson's gonna like beat the piss out of this poor guy.
You know, it was so bad that he buckled and you smell blood, and Johnson did the right thing, but just couldn't stop him.
Maybe
Kept
I
coming.
am exaggerating by saying beat the piss out of him.
I think
but,
he bit the piss out of him. I think you're right.
But I mean, dude,
because he
both
landed
dudes,
decisive, hard
both
punches.
dudes with a lot of fucking heart, a lot of fucking balls.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what we watch for, right?
Oh yeah.
Those
You
are the
know?
fights we look forward to.
And then, of course, in the later rounds, Justin G comes back.
Yeah.
Almost the exact same way, dude. Buckles fucking Johnson.
His first round hardcore, he buckles. Second round hardcore, again, he gets knocked down. Third round comes back. It was incredible, just throwing the whole time.
Only round.
Oh, the second round was only two? I thought it went
I
three.
thought it went 3-2, but no. it was only second.
Yeah. But a huge fight of the year candidate because we haven't seen anybody throw at that level.
Yeah.
I
And
don't
that
even know about
intensity.
Fight of the year. He's putting himself in the top 10 of all time right there with that one.
Yeah?
I mean, yeah. Crazy part. The funniest thing for the whole thing is like you knew he was like he barely got out of that thing because he tried to do his patented backflip off the top of the cage, couldn't even get up there.
Oh, no, he was
I remember,
spent.
yeah.
And that's the other thing is Johnson looked like he was spent for it being a second round stoppage. I mean, really, he didn't look like he had anything left. What did he do? Did he take the wind out of him? I know there was a flying knee at the end that looked dirty.
Gaethje went to the legs and the body all the time. Like,
So that he just had nothing left. I mean, his arms were noodles. He wasn't defending
legs,
himself.
man.
Yeah.
The legs.
Oh, he beat the hell out of his legs.
Oh, dude, but hats off to both of them, dude.
Yep.
That shit was fucking sick.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was a sick fucking fight.
And
That
yeah,
was
that
great.
backflip off the cage, you should steer away from that. If you can't climb up the cage, don't do a backflip. Break your
fuck
leg
that.
doing that
Yeah,
super stuff.
Yeah, fuck
Somebody
that,
has
dude.
done that, right?
I know. And if you don't have the
Dan
strength to pull
Henderson
yourself
did
up,
that shit,
yeah.
fucking jumping off
But
the ropes or
he's
something.
a man of steel, though. You know,
Yep, that's right.
that's a different breed of man altogether.
and then we got spoiled with a consecutive night of fights Saturday
Yeah,
night.
we
with,
moved on to Saturday. We all
yep.
spent the night at the same place, of course, watching fights.
Yep.
Got together with the homies.
Always, dude.
So a shout out to our good friends and family that spent the night watching fights with us and
Yep.
keeping it real.
Or just goes to fucking, the corner bar down the street, watches some fights, drink some beer, eat some nachos, get fat.
Yep.
That's the best part, dude.
We did plenty of
what
that.
I'm saying? Yeah, that's living, dude. And of course, the headliner for that one was supposed to be the Lioness Amanda Nunes against.
Shevchenko.
yeah,
Shevchenko.
Yes, thank you. Again, I'm horrible
Sergeant
at
Stadenko. That was an inside joke.
code name hard hat.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's see, Mr. Robert, where are we going here?
Give me a second. I forgot to pull down the chats.
That's all right. It's all good. But
Well, in the meantime, right? So
yeah,
So we had actually the co-headliner step up, which I actually thought
it's fine.
was pretty cool. You
Yeah,
know, it was
yeah.
a really good fight. And I'll be the first to say I underestimated Robert Whittaker. Nothing against him, I was just like, damn, dude, I don't
Hey,
know.
we're getting to the top of the card again.
Well, I am, but
let's go back to the bottom.
we'll start to the bottom. But I just had
Pull
to
up the
just
bottom,
get that
Robert.
off.
Is that what that is? All right, so let's start there.
All right, let's
We
start.
got
there.
a dirty
First-
habit of killing the punchline without even telling the joke.
All right,
we got to get past that.
All right, we had James Boknovich against Trevin Giles.
Yep.
This one was, I believe, this one
That was interesting. Boknovich, he took to the octagon in the center. He's pumping that jab. Giles was doing that outside kick.
Yep.
They were working. They went into round two much the same. End result was TKO by punches, where Giles actually defeated Boknovich.
Mm-hmm.
So went. Actually, the was the end of round one. They didn't even make it to round two. But a good fight to watch. Wasn't uninteresting, but moving forward. What else?
Mr.
What
Robert?
do we have next up?
Robbie, we can't remember the whole fight card, dude.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you for staying awake. I know it's about 11 o'clock in Hawaii. No, it's even earlier. It's an afternoon siesta in Hawaii, but it's still, you're on their time.
Cody Stamen, I believe it was,
Yeah.
Against Tyrion Ware. And for this one, too, I believe, I think most of the undercard on this one was, I think they went, either 3-round decisions.
Yeah.
Let's see, Mr. Robert, if you don't mind, please.
Well, the interesting thing about that one is they kind of kept it mellow until he got scooped up, and then, he picked him up, dropped him on the ground. Then things got interesting. I remember there was a flurry of left hands and hammer fists from Stamen.
Yep, and this one ended, I believe, a 3-round decision.
Yep.
And we had Robert, please, if you don't mind scrolling down there for us.
Just a little bit further. There we go.
Thank you.
Yep. Official
we had
decision
Cody
was
Stamen.
unanimous. Yep, to
Yep.
Stamen.
Defeating Ware, 3-round decision. On to Jordan Main against Bilal Muhammad, which I was anticipating it being a good fight. I believe this one was also Mr. Robert, if you don't mind scrolling down.
Yeah. It was just an exchange, They were both standing in the pocket. They were exchanging through. Towards the end, you saw, that he was, looking to finish the fight and throwing elbows, throwing punches. Round expired. We moved into round 3.
And I believe this one, let's see. If I'm not mistaken, I think Muhammad took this one 3-round decision.
And the official result.
Yep.
That's it, Muhammad. Yeah, you remember that one clear.
Yep. Next, we had Gerald Meerschaert. God, Jesus
That's
Christ,
right.
dude.
The Meerkat.
Yeah.
I think it's Meerschart. I hate to say sharded somebody's last name, but it looks like that. Thiago Santos.
Yeah. And, dude, this one was a good one. I think it was Santos getting knocked out, right?
Exactly.
No. He got tapped.
No, it was TKO. It was TKO. Yep.
The first round. I
Thiago
think
got
it was the first round. I think he was.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
got caught
It
in a
was close.
guillotine. It was close. Yeah.
It was interesting, I'll tell you that. But TKO to punches. Thiago Santos took out Gerald the Meerkat, Meerschart.
Next, Robert. Brian Camozzi against Chad LaPrace.
Yeah.
Yep.
Active leg kicking. Just going nuts on him. They end up going 3 rounds. Went back and forth for quite a bit, and then TKO by punches from LaPrace.
Next,
being
we
the
had
victor.
Travis Brown against Alexei Olenek.
This one just I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of that I can watch. Over and over, they're heavyweights. You expect Travis Brown to come out, ahead of the game. There just wasn't a lot of that. He's capable of so much more, I think, but he just hasn't shown it.
It could be because he's been hopping around so much. First he was over with.
In back of the Honda with Ronda? Is that what you mean?
Well, even before that, well, I think not too long ago he was over there in Albuquerque with.
Oh, that's true. Well, that's where he belongs. That would have straightened his hands out. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I think those guys throw hard.
Yeah.
I don't know where he's at now, but
I think 4 fights he was with, or 3 or 4 fights recently was with Ronda's camp. With Edmund.
Oh, well,
but
that explains exactly why he lost.
But I think the last 2.
Sorry to say it, but they're not known for training people to exchange blows, not properly.
The last 2, I think he's been in Vegas. I think he's been training with Sugarfoot, Ray Seffel. Because I've seen Ray Seffel in the corner. I've seen him.
Well, I know he's he also has for the life of me I can't fucking remember his name right now.
With the missing toe.
Who?
Yeah, I think that's a jiu-jitsu
in
coach
Vegas.
Too. That
Team Couture's in Vegas. I know that.
No,
you should know. You fought against him.
Dude.
That freaking
The bad motherfucker, dude. Like the damn Ricky Lundell. Thank you.
Oh, that's his wrestling coach.
Yes.
But he even has that other dude, the jiu-jitsu. That jiu-jitsu dude. I think he's jiu-jitsu. He they told him something was wrong with his toe and he couldn't train anymore for a while or something. So he decided to cut his toe off. That dude.
Oh shit, dude.
Right.
Melanson, Neil Menon. That dude.
Okay.
That crazy dude. Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Melanson. It's Neil Melanson. That's the guy's name.
Who knows what to say with
That's a sick team. Ricky Lundell.
I believe it,
Ray
dude. Fuck.
Seffel.
If anybody comes across Ricky Lundell's Instagram, you see the videos that dude posts. That dude does some crazy fucking shit, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
That dude's a fucking bad motherfucker, dude.
But at the end of that fight was awesome. Olenek smothered Brown.
He just choked his face.
Cross-faced him.
It was more like rear naked face.
Yeah. He didn't have the exposed neck. He just put it across his face and put the muscle into it. Not the best way to submit someone, but man.
And if I'm not mistaken, that's either 3 or 4 straight losses by Travis Brown.
Yeah,
man,
that's
so
4. That's 4.
That's 4, right?
Yeah. Big fan of Travis Brown, but man,
you expect better is what I was getting at, right? 4 times.
Yeah,
I don't think it's wrong to say that.
Well, he was on a roll. You know what I'm saying?
He's a big boy. He can throw. He's got it. He just needs to tighten it up.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm wondering if he's too big for the cage. You know what I mean?
No, I do know what you mean.
I remember he was pretty explosive, had really crazy footwork. I remember he kind of used to in the beginning when he was in SD, he kind of had some of those motions before he moved to, kind of like Dominic Cruz.
He needs to get back to that. He needs to get back to that.
First came up, I know he blew out his knee doing that. I don't know if it was because of that, but I knew he blew out his knee. So I'm wondering if maybe ever since then that same athletic movement that he had, it's not there anymore.
Yep.
I think you might be right.
Maybe. Who knows? Poor guy though.
Yeah.
You always hate to see somebody on their way out, who's been there for a while, but probably on his way out.
Well, we had high hopes for him, and we're down 4 right now. Hope he has some kind of comeback.
Yep. Moving on, Rob Font versus Douglas Silva Andrade. This one I believe was let's go down to that was Font defeating Silva Andrade, guillotine choke, round 2. Then we had one of the fight. Every time this dude fights, I always say, dude, this shit's gonna be fucking sick.
Actually,
Jim Miller against Anthony Pettis.
Yeah, it was good.
Last time,
I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Yo, dude, last time Jim Miller fought, who did he fight? That I even called it. I said this fight's gonna be fucking sick, and it was.
Yeah.
What was his last fight against, Robert? Please
I don't
refresh
recall,
my
but
memory.
anyways, getting on to the Pettis fight, and while he recovers all that information, they're tinkering around each other. They're throwing
Dustin
hard.
Poirier.
Oh yeah, Dustin Poirier brings it. That's
yeah.
for sure.
I said that shit was gonna be sick,
Yep.
and
That was
it
quick.
was. And I said this one was gonna be good,
You
and
were
this one was
quick on
just
that.
as good.
Yeah.
First round, I actually thought Miller was fucking bringing it. I thought he won that round. Second round, you had Pettis definitely waking up, firing back.
And getting interesting.
Oh yeah, then
They mixed
that
it
one
up
it was
quite a
all
bit.
Pettis in my opinion.
Yeah.
Round 3, Pettis started doing more of his fancy footwork stuff.
The fancy stuff started to come
Yeah,
out, and,
yeah.
and Jim Miller made fun of him a little bit. He was tinkering with him,
Yeah, and
jumping off the cage.
And I know he tried to do some fancy, snagging the leg kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Which,
But there was a funny Superman punch thrown. There was a funny kick off the cage thrown.
Yeah.
You know, to no defeat or anything, just interesting thing, poking fun at his opponent.
Yep, and Anthony Pettis took this one by 3-round decision. On to the next one.
Yep.
We had Curtis Blades against Daniel Omilanchuk, which, I'll be honest, man,
Where was this fight that we get so many of those last names that we can't pronounce? Was this in Poland?
Nah, man, this was in Vegas. Dude.
Was it in Vegas?
Yeah, maybe because it had the Polish girl headlining the
Maybe
thing,
they stacked it that way, but it sure seems like it.
But, hey, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna fake the funk. I tried staying awake through this fight.
Yep.
It was whatever.
Yep.
I think Curtis Blades took a unanimous 3-round decision, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
On to the next one, Robert.
Yep.
I think the next one was Fabricio Verdum against Alistair Overeem. This one was all right. I had called. I picked Overeem to take this. But same thing. Nah.
I know. That's exactly what I was thinking. I mean, I had hopes that Verdum would take him, but I thought maybe you were right in choosing Alistair to win this one. But Verdum,
and again, I ain't going to fake it, Just back and forth, whatever.
Yep.
What's up, Robert? What are you going to say? What?
Okay, now, this is where I want to ask you guys, what do you guys think about the scoring system? Because
I think Verdum won.
mean, if you look at it, right, if you go by the scoring system that we have now, and you take a look at it as if you look at it if we're watching an actual fight, 2 dudes fighting, who won the fight?
Yeah, Verdum won the fight.
Verdum almost
finished him.
Yeah, almost finished him. I mean, if you gave him more time and more.
That's the troubling thing about the system and leaving it to the judges.
And then the first round, they did basically not much.
No.
Right? So
They didn't exchange.
Yeah, so I mean.
They're pussyfooting around.
Yeah.
I will say I thought Verdum won as well. As
It
far as the
just seemed
scoring
like it would happen
system,
that
I
way.
mean, how long has it been since this quote-unquote sport has taken off, right?
Yeah, for a
Been
while,
like
right?
over about 10 years, maybe a little bit over 10 years, right?
I have no clue. I just know it's been there ever since, that I've been.
Truly about 20 since first UFC in 1993.
Well, I mean, since
So
it became
24.
sanctioned, and then it
I
took
know.
a couple years to get
Since
it off
it
the
grew
ground,
up,
and
yeah.
whatever.
Since it grew
But
up, yeah.
it still sucks that you can't get decent judges to score it. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
The scoring system's weird because it's not common sense, or that's not common sense. It's not rocket science. Is
No.
what I meant to say.
Especially if you get people who have trained or are involved in some way that have the skill level that should be judging these things, then it won't have that problem, don't you think?
I think so. It's funny. I once heard a man tell me a long time ago, a gentleman at a local fighting event that that the sport, again, quote unquote, of MMA needs, there's always a long list of fighters, up and comers, whatever. It needs something else. And if anything, what I personally would like to see is more dudes that train. If you don't want to fight professionally, whatever, that's cool. I'm not one of those guys that says, people got to fight, whatever. Like I always say, we fight to get up in the morning. We fight to get to work. We fight with our wives. We fight with our boss. We fight with our coworkers.
Fighting off a cold at the moment.
Yeah, we fight enough. So
Fighting off a hangover.
what I'm getting at is, some of these dudes that train, whether it's jiu-jitsu, whether it's boxing, whatever, or whatever.
Or all of it.
Or all of it, the whole 9 yards. Try to do something along the lines of maybe even getting with an athletic commission, events, local events, whatever.
Get involved.
Get involved. Like, you know what I mean? I think
Keep it alive.
I think not just that, but what I think it needs is, like you said, people who actually train and are experienced in training and know what it's about.
If
and
you're passionate about it, you're probably going to score it correctly because you believe in
yes,
it.
that's what I was getting at.
Like
Thank
then
you.
some schmuck that has no belief in this is doing this for a paycheck.
Yes.
Might
Yep.
like the color of someone's shorts.
Or let's biased opinions get in the way. And what
Yeah.
I mean is, the only real fighting is boxing. the only real fighting is this. What the only real fighting is that.
That's a fact.
If you're throwing punches, whatever, dude, you're fucking scrapping. That's
right.
the way I
That's
see
right.
it.
No,
you
I
know?
love boxing.
But again,
I love wrestling. I like it all.
yeah, no, so do I. But what
Yeah,
I was
mix
you
it
know,
up. Mix it up.
I was saying, dude, get involved. If there's a way to be a judge, for lack of a better word, fuck,
Yeah. Or a ref.
or whatever, dude. You
Right?
know, do that. I mean, it is
Or a
kind
ring
of like,
girl.
it is shitty.
Put
seeing-
on your bikini and hold the number for crying out loud.
Fuck it, make sure you hold it the right direction.
That's right.
But again, it sucks seeing all these like whack ass referees with their whack ass decisions, and
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, like.
You know what, though? Enough said about all of that, which I absolutely believe.
Yeah. But anyways, I digress. I'm
Up
sorry.
comes the war. Let's talk about a 5-round war. 25 minutes of exchanging blows. You take it.
Well, like where I left off earlier, I admit, dude, I was totally saying Romero is gonna fucking cream Whitaker, dude.
Yeah.
I was just basing that off of Romero's last couple fights,
Sure.
where he smoked fucking Machida. He mowed through
He's been
Weidman.
lighting people up, and he looks like a superhero or action figure.
A
You know what I mean?
40-year-old man,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. But he still looks like you're like, what the hell?
I
He's
hate
gonna
this.
take him down.
Hey, man, most 40-year-old men, their fucking definition of working out is walking around the block.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Walking in and out burger.
And fucking A, dude. I mean, what? I don't even know. Fuck. What? I don't
He's
even know
like an
what else
action
to say.
figure, but
You know?
Robert Whitaker is something else, dude.
Oh, I was wrong about him, man.
Come
and
on.
I take it all back, and I give him the biggest props, dude. Blew out his knee, I think he said, right? Was it his
So
sleeve knee?
yeah,
First...
Yoel Romero comes in, and what do you call it? Are those teep kicks that are going to
I
his,
guess, to the knees or
yeah,
whatever.
he's just throwing these kicks directly at the knee.
Yeah.
And I think he stepped back and tweaked his leg. So he
Yeah.
was done early on.
Yeah.
And somehow continues to throw kicks
Yeah, you can hear
on
him.
both legs.
Yeah, you heard him tell his corner, my
leg's done.
My leg's shot or
Or
some
thrashed.
shit.
My leg's
Yeah.
thrashed.
Yeah.
He says it to his corner, so he knows early on, like first, second round, that his leg's done.
Dude, and the motherfucker
Keeps fighting. Keeps putting pressure on.
and played it off super
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Played it off cool.
He fought through it, and he really did fight through it.
I
Not
would say
just-
the first 2 rounds went to Romero, and then of
Yeah.
course his questionable gas tank kicked in.
Yeah, he
and
was done.
I gave the last 3 to Whitaker. You know.
Yeah, you could tell when Romero was choking for air.
Yeah, and I think what was it, like 3rd or 4th round? If anything, I think both 3rd and 4th
By
round.
the 4th, yeah, they were both kind of
Even Romero conserved himself a lot. You know,
Yep.
wasn't throwing, wasn't
It got a lot less like the first couple rounds where
Yeah.
they were really throwing hardcore.
Yeah. By the end of the night, though, dude, I mean, I ended up rooting hard for Whitaker to pull it off.
But it was
I'm
one
glad
of those
he
you
did.
were drawn in forever
Yeah.
because 25 minutes of fighting.
Yeah.
And someone's pretty much injured to where they probably shouldn't be fighting anymore, but yet he's fighting at a high level.
Yep.
And mixing it up.
A fucking, I don't know what word to use to describe him, but
Yeah.
I hate to use the word beast because everybody says that shit.
Yeah.
But Romero's a fucking
Savage
nut, dude.
animal.
Yeah.
That's what I'll say because that other word I just don't use.
Yeah.
It's too
I try
common.
not to either.
I know.
Whatever.
I feel you. I feel you.
Anywho,
Yeah. But
so that was
yeah.
our fights, our weekly rants on fights, whatever.
Romero, ended up, being defeated by Robert Whitaker. So Australia has their first champ. Is he from New Zealand or Australia, Robert?
I think he said. I think
Yeah,
from
he's an
Australia,
Aussie.
right?
He's an Aussie. I know he's down there.
So we got a couple people saying what's up.
What's up?
So Pete, he wants to know when you're going to Vegas.
We're going to Vegas.
Oh,
Pete.
that's
We're going for
that's
the Canelo fight, buddy.
Yo, dude, yeah, we're making that shit happen.
Peter Renteria.
We're taking
going.
full contact fanatics on the road.
Yep.
Of course, to Vegas. Watch some boxing. Watch some titties.
That's right. We're going
That's
to
right.
Sapphires, Pete. So get your dollar bills ready, buddy. I'll get the rooms. You get the dollar bills.
And then Stephen Bailey says more cowbell.
Oh, jeez.
Of course he does.
That's my homie. My homie Steven, dude.
He's a Blue Oyster Cult fan. That's why. More
The
cowbell.
on a side note, non-related to, I'm not going to get us in too much trouble, but the last time him and I went in that direction, let's just say we almost got popped for something.
Yeah.
But
Last
I'll
time
leave
I
it
went
at
in that direction with these two, we got our car towed from a Del Taco.
Remember that, dude?
Jesus.
Yeah.
3 in the morning.
Tommy, dude. Peace, man.
Absolutely.
Peace.
And then
Thank you for watching,
also
Tom.
Always,
Fox.
dude. Seriously, thank you.
We got Figs shared our
Miss
Bag
Fun Bags
Figs.
Figs.
Fun Bag
That's
Figs.
right.
Thanks for sharing the video. Anyways, everybody who shared it. Lisa Wynn is joined the room. I don't know if she's still here, but
Right
she
on,
did.
Lisa. Come on up.
And,
Say hi.
and
Lisa,
then,
what's happening, girl?
Of course, we've got our buddy Arturo.
Arturo, you must sugar your own churro. I don't know which Arturo that is. We know a couple.
You know,
There's a big one and a little one.
Big Art,
Big Art, not his son, Art.
not little Churro.
So I heard you, producer Robert and Dondo here had a quite eventful weekend at our special guest from last week, Russ Mira's tournament.
Yeah, that was cool.
And I'm seriously dying to hear all about it, dude, because,
Yeah. Well, Russ has his own thing going now. So Subfighter is Russ Mira, Subfighter BJJ down in Laguna Hills. He was our guest on last week's episode and
shared his philosophy, which honestly blew most of our minds.
Yeah.
You know?
He's a deep guy.
Yeah.
And it's inspiring to see someone who believes in jiu-jitsu so much and wants to share it so much. And that, he really believes in this larger community of people that, should be training together and should be sharing knowledge and evolving what we do. And, the coolest thing that I grasp from it is that, he really does believe in jiu-jitsu as a fighting art, not something that should be trained or studied for points or for stalling.
Or sport,
Yeah.
quote unquote. Again, I put that in quotes because, if it's a sport to you, cool, whatever. It's all good,
That's your
we
thing.
don't dog it.
Not my thing.
It's not mine either, but I don't know. It takes the martial art out of martial arts. What it initially was started as.
Two separate things, a sport and a martial art.
Okay, all right. So,
But he invited us down, which was really, really cool of him. Producer Robert and I got down there. We were able to film some matches, and just a cool thing to see. It's a different kind of setup. Some cool folks were down there. We got to see Nam Fam. Hats off to you, Nam, for hanging out, talking to us a little bit.
yeah, Nam Fam's cool.
He was
man.
cool.
Yeah.
Who else was down there, Robert? We had
Yeah, we
Gio
had,
from the guys down in San Diego, the Freaks.
Yeah, Gio Martinez was there.
Gio Martinez was a cool guy to talk to.
Nice.
Josh Barnett was there.
Oh,
but-
Josh Barnett, representing his team over there. And I think one of his guys went up against Chris Brennan's son. That was kind of a cool match.
Yeah,
Chris Brennan was there
Yeah,
too.
Chris
huh?
Brennan was there
Nice,
too. Did I
nice,
not bring
nice.
that up? Yes.
And
Him and
then-
two of his boys. I forget their names. Tyler was one of them. I forget the other guy, but is an older son, I think, because Tyler was a younger guy in a super fight.
Okay.
But just, since we don't necessarily dabble in the tournament world too much, coming down there for us being Del O Jiu-Jitsu guys was really cool. Just because, we need to do more of that. And these guys were competing at a high level and very just exciting matches and seeing things you don't see very often. I think Chris Brennan and his boys really kind of stepped it up. I mean, they're doing some different stuff
I
down
can
there.
only imagine.
It was
I
crazy.
can only imagine, yeah.
And it's not fighting. I mean, there's no punches, elbows, or kicks being thrown. I get it, but still very fun to watch and still very active.
Well, I just remember from him being here last week, how he briefly talked about his style of putting those kind of tournaments together where it's not, what your IBJJF would be kind of a thing.
I think he's onto something, dude, because it was so cool to watch. I mean, I've been to some of those other events, and it can probably put some people to sleep because if you're not training jiu-jitsu, if you're not a grappler of any sort or a wrestler, the intricacies that are involved in jiu-jitsu aren't as exciting as seeing a knockout or see punches thrown.
Yeah.
However, Russ has put on this great event that, it is just exciting from the takedowns to the submission attempts to the level that they push. I'm not necessarily a big fan of high-flying moves or things that maybe cause you to abandon your base. But they were pulling off some things that were out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
And they were
Nice.
setting
Cool.
things up. And Chris Brennan's son, he literally threw his legs around his opponent, jumped up on top of him, throws on a guillotine, only to set up a Kimura.
Oh, shit.
But he's being elevated by this guy, being held up by his opponent. In a fight, he would have just been dropped to the ground and kicked and punched.
Yeah.
In a jiu-jitsu tournament, up, can't get the guillotine off, and even in doing so, he's isolating the arm so that he can throw on a Kimura while the guy's standing and he's got his legs wrapped around him and finishes him.
Yeah.
Pretty cool stuff. It's not going to work in a fight. I get it, but still very cool to watch in a tournament, in that setting. Just pushing. These guys pushed, man, so high energy. they're learning some really cool stuff and teaching some really cool stuff.
Man.
You know,
Wow.
you learn just from going out there and watching.
No, for sure. And again, like I said, I reiterate that, from what Russ had shared with us last week, you know what I mean? I can only imagine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know he, again, how he said, or at least how I told him, sometimes, you go to these, certain, tournaments, not certain ones in general, but like single elimination ones, and you got guys who, I'm sure not everybody does this as, a living kind of a thing, if you would. So,
Sure.
You have your weekends, blue collar guys who take, maybe some time off work. They drive far away for a match, and it's a single elimination. And regardless of the outcome, they only have one match, and you drove all this time out there, and like you
Down $100.
yeah, exactly. And it's only speaking from my experience. I've never done one. I'm
Yeah.
not talking about experience in doing one, but going with some of our guys to one of those,
Yeah.
dude, you're right, dude. You're fucking waiting for your match to come on. It's super unorganized. You're falling asleep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's the way it can be. Now this whole setup from Russ was just smooth sailing, and he's got a good thing going. So if you have a chance to go watch a sub fighter tournament, man, it's an exciting
where
day.
was this one at?
It was in Dana Hills High School, so
Okay.
down in Dana Point, California.
Hey, there's some pictures.
know?
Cool.
Yeah, that's a
nice,
good one.
nice. You guys have some more? Throw some up, Robert.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah. Speaking of work, I had to work, but it's all good.
But thank you to Russ and his wife, Rhiannon. They're very nice people, and invited Robert and I and 86 down there who had to work. But we took care of business in his absence and had a pretty exciting day. One thing for sure, man, that I took away, this is the same thing Russ had actually said, is that, even when he's fighting, much less tournaments, he doesn't separate from his family. This is what he does. He doesn't isolate himself for 6 weeks during fight camp. The person that he is the person that steps into the cage. And sometimes, you're cleaning a dirty diaper, and then you're getting a tank of gas, and you just worked 8 hours.
Yeah.
And then you show up for whatever competition it is that you put yourself in, and you give it your best, and you don't always win. But you're building to that finish. And sometimes the clock runs out, and somebody's up on points because whether it be MMA or whether it be a tournament, it is a point-based system.
Yeah.
And the clock can run out on you. So it's different than actual street fighting or anything else where you're going to finish someone. So he has an interesting perspective that I think should be shared, and hopefully I convey it properly, in that you're building towards your finish regardless of how the outcome is. You're constantly fighting. Don't give up.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of course. No,
Every
I sure
moment
wish.
that you have, you're building towards that finish.
And that goes not just in jiu-jitsu and martial arts, but, you could take that and use it in life in general.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody goes through hardships and shit, and we all hit times when you're fucking down, dude. And it's
obstacles,
like,
man.
dude, when like you want to just give up and say like, fuck this, I'm
Yeah.
out.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
no way, dude. You're down, but you're not out.
Yeah. And those are the words of our wise old friend Ronnie James.
That's right, dude.
He's down but not out. So if you're watching, Ronnie, hats off to you, brother.
That's right. You're still
breathing.
here, dude.
You got
You're
air in your
breathing.
lungs.
You're still here.
I had a couple other pictures, but then I realized I don't think these kids are adults.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Like I didn't get any.
We didn't get their permission. We
parental-
get it.
permission. So
There's only so much we can do
yeah,
with that.
'cause
you know?
I think some of these competitors are under the age of 18.
Sure.
Oh,
Yeah, there were some kids, and they were high-flying kids, so hats off to them. We may not be able to show their stuff. We didn't get that exact permission, but, Chris Brennan's kids for sure were, they lit the place up. They had, I think, 3 rounds each. Exciting matches. I don't know those dudes, but it was cool to watch them.
Well, I think the younger one just had that one super fight. I think they're like 2 high-ranked,
That super
Yes.
fight was cool.
Yeah, and then it was amazing stuff. I have that on video. Maybe one day, eventually, they're gonna hit.
When
me
Russ
up.
comes back on, maybe we'll get permission before then. So we're going to have him back on because we do have some more stuff to go through. We had found out some more things that we want to share and continue to
We'll let
kinda
him
interview.
tell it better. I'm sure he can.
Yeah,
you
let
know,
it
obviously,
come from the
yeah.
words of the man. This is something he's building, and it's cool to be a part and to see someone kind of start their own thing. Because there was a sub fighter before what he had started himself. It was more Vale Tudo MMA style.
Yeah.
And his BJJ was there, and now he's broken off and doing his own thing. So, if that wasn't said during the interview that we had before, let that be known, and we're gonna have him back in and let him tell his story a little further. So see what he has to say about that a little further.
So what was your take on it, producer Robert?
Yeah, it was super, super cool, super hot. that place is hot as shit.
I didn't even notice. So you
Yeah,
know,
I mean, I guess because it's it was just hot.
it was
weekend
100
anyways.
degrees and I was comfortable. I felt like we were sitting in the dojo.
But yeah, I liked it a lot. I thought everything was really run very well. The venue seemed to be the perfect size. There was not a lot of downtime. It was
Matches
one
were on
after another.
time.
I thought the referees are pretty good too.
He got legitimate people. I
The
mean,
refs
from
are-
other dojos. I mean, legitimate
cool,
guys
man.
that
That's
were
cool,
belted
for
and
sure.
higher ranked,
Yeah.
and they were conducting the tournament. So he did it right. I mean, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, and then there's like a spot for the food people, a spot for the vendors, and we'll probably get into the vendors because we got a bunch of shout outs to go through with the
Yeah,
vendors.
yeah. Let's talk about those guys. We met some cool people.
Yeah, because we forgot
Shoot
that-
it, dude. What's up?
You know, we had Jiu-Jitsu Fight Shirt Company. Is that what it was called?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
it was something
Jiu-Jitsu
like that.
Fight T-shirt company. They're up in Ventura. They were cool dudes.
Nice.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
were
they-
talking to us.
Then George, and then
George from Ground Fighter.
Yeah.
Ground Fighter. He's a representative here in Southern California. They're a Texas company.
Oh yeah, I've honestly heard nothing but positive stuff from them, like positive everything. I mean, again, our old partner here,
Ronnie James.
was
Yeah.
quite vocal about how cool their stuff were, their gis,
Yeah.
their rash guards, their shorts, the whole
Yeah.
shebang.
I didn't even believe him. I'll be quite honest. I don't necessarily listen to exactly what he's saying.
I'll-
about
again,
anything.
I'm not.
I want
I'll
to see
be-
it for myself.
Yeah, me too. I mean,
you know?
to me, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I was just like, shorts are shorts. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
I'm sweating them. They're stinking later. You
That's
know,
right.
whatever,
That's
dude.
right.
You know.
That's exactly.
But
what he said.
the one thing I will say that he said that Ronnie James had said was I don't put many stickers on the back of my truck, but Ground Fighter is a sticker I put on the back of a.
It's true.
You know.
Our old host actually has it on there, but I bought one of their hats. I'd meant to wear it today, but left it at home, so I'll wear it on the next episode.
Which says a lot about Ronnie James, because
Yeah.
the only other sticker I've seen on the back of his truck is the President of the United States of America. I won't say which
That's
one,
right.
but
That's right.
you know.
And De Lo Jiu-Jitsu,
Yeah.
president of Stanton.
Yeah, you know what? Let's just see if we can find that hat.
Yeah,
Let's
pull
check-
up
let's
that
check
Ground
the
Fighter
website.
stuff.
Let's see
It
what
just
we can-
it just very simply
let's see
says
what we can-
roll on the front of it and then Ground Fighter on the side.
let's see what we can
And
do.
to me, that kind of sums up what we do, and it doesn't have that appearance of these guys that puff their chest out and wear jiu-jitsu crap and all this. It's just very subtle, and it's what we do. So I respect that, and it was cool.
And
Yeah,
that-
and
that-
words of some of the guys that that we train with,
And that's another thing. Like I wanted to talk about that whole tournament. Everybody there was pretty cool. Like I didn't see any like.
Oh no,
it
you
was-
know
the
what?
con- It was like.
No, that's
camaraderie.
You,
cool,
you
man.
say it
No,
real
for sure.
quick, and then I'll say my perspective because you're right. You touched on something I did notice.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I don't go to a lot of jiu-jitsu tournaments because our where we train when I was training, it was primarily based on fighting because we had our own promotion. We had fighters fighting other places as well, like King of the Cage.
King of the
we
Cage
had
was big. I remember that.
Gladiator Challenge. We had
Yep.
Long Beach Fight Night.
Long Beach Fight Night.
So it's a little different because where when we were
Predominantly
doing
a fight
camps-
school.
Yeah, and because you're doing fight camps for a person, it gets a little personal when you see the other opponent's camp. It's not the same. And I always assumed that it'd be the same thing with jiu-jitsu, but it's not. It wasn't like that at all. Like people tap each other and then sit next to each other and talk about stuff after. But there's no way you punch me in my face and you knock me out. I'm going to talk to you later at all.
Oh no, for sure.
Sometimes I guess you do, but like
No, I
you're
can agree to that.
professional, yeah,
but-
I mean, ultimately, I mean, the way I see it is, like me personally, I was never big on like the whole stare down shit when you're fighting.
yeah.
That's never my thing, dude.
Yeah.
I don't care. B, I don't know the dude personally. You know what I mean? It's not like he was all up on my lady and. Or he was fucking trying to get all up on my mom or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it's I'm just saying it's nothing personal. You know what I mean? Like, the dude does his thing, I do my thing, and we're supposed to scrap, and so be it. And like you had said, hey, at the end of the fight, dude, we'll crack a beer and
It is
you
what
know,
it is.
talk some shit and
Yeah.
be homies. Fuck, what I think is cool is when two dudes fight and later on they train with each other. They I think that's cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
But again, like you said, it is one thing, getting knocked out or whatever, and then being homies afterwards. Yeah, it's a little difficult. I guess it's a little awkward, I guess, whatever you want to call it. But, in a format like that, you're right. I agree. That is cool. You have a friendly competition, whatever you want to
Yeah,
call it, you
yeah.
know. And afterwards, you know, you shake hands and you're like, dude, what the fuck was that, dude? Like,
Yeah.
I've never seen that move. Or, dude, that was slick. How did you
Yeah.
pull that out? You know, like,
Yeah.
that's dope.
No, they
I could dig
discussed that.
you
Yeah,
know?
tying this into, you know, me and Robert knowing each other. You know, Robert born and raised in Hawaii, and I lived in Hawaii. It's commonplace for Hawaiian people to settle things with their hands. I don't know if the world is ready for such a thing, but over there, everybody throws. It's just a commonplace thing, and it's not uncommon to just hash it out and then
Yeah.
hug and move on.
Yeah.
And it just seems to solve things a lot better. And it's very similar to kind of what I saw, even though they weren't throwing at this tournament. People did their thing, and they did it at a high level. And it is physical, and it's emotional because they put their hearts into it, and they trained
Yeah.
for this.
Of course.
And they were able to put their differences aside the moment that the person the referee raised the hand of the person that won, whoever won by points or by submission. And we did see a community of jiu-jitsu people that were cool with each other. You know what I mean? It wasn't dojo wars. It wasn't mat wars. It was, you know, the best man wins, best lady wins. Whoever's up against the other person outfox that person with skill level. And they were cool with it. And I think you saw an environment where people learned, and not just the people that were competing, because I certainly took away a whole ton of things that I intend on incorporating into my game.
Yeah.
Because they were being done differently than I've ever seen, you know. So the matches were awesome, and the people that were competing were awesome, and it was just cool.
Yeah.
I had not been to a tournament of that style and conducted so professionally to where I was interested in everything that was going on. I mean, we went to one a couple weeks ago. I saw our boy do his thing, and I was nearly falling asleep after that.
No,
Ready to
I
hit
feel
the
you.
road, grab
Yeah.
a beer. We're done.
We're
I'm
done,
out.
yeah.
We saw our guy. I'm not staying. And I had to pay to get into that one. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, God, another one? I mean, there's a stark contrast. You know, there are two different things going on. So, yeah.
By the sound of it, it seems that so far Russ is doing
onto
what
something.
he set out to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Which is, you know,
He wants to give people experience,
give them experience. Yep.
does it at a very low cost, and does it at a high level.
Yes.
So, hats off to the
And
to
you're
the dude.
and you're still growing the martial art, if you would.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
I
and
think
again,
in
by
his
like
own
you
way,
said,
yeah.
by sharing, by just being, you know,
If nothing at all, learning to deal with the pressure of being in a competition, does that prep you for a fight? It gives you some things, not all of it. Obviously, a fight camp's necessary. All those skills that you build for years
Yeah.
are necessary. But that pressure and the butterflies that you deal with, and maybe that is the road. Maybe that for some people they deal with things better later on because they were able to get that out then. I mean, I know a lot of young kids that wrestled in high school, move on to jiu-jitsu, man, they're awesome.
Yeah,
You can
for
see
sure.
it in them. The takedowns are there. They light people up early on. They keep that pressure on.
Yep.
And they've expanded their knowledge with jiu-jitsu, so they're just incredible. Versus the guys that pick it up later on and they're taken down very quickly, start to work from their back, or they're maybe guard pullers and dragging their ass, which I don't ever like to see.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. No, for
I
sure.
didn't see a lot of that. There was no ass draggers and no guard pullers, and you know, I didn't even see a lot of foot locks, to be honest with you, or leg locks. I saw people going for it, which was cool.
Yeah.
Not that I have anything against those things, but you know, it's not my favorite thing to watch. You know, if you can
I
lay
feel
it
ya.
on quick and finish, great. But sit there and pulling on each other's ankles for a half hour, I don't want to watch that.
Yeah. Well, like you said, going back to like the whole guard pulling thing. I mean, aside from it like not being, you know, pleasant to see, I guess, you know, however you
It
want to call
certainly
it.
sets you up to have bad things happen to
Well,
you.
I was about to say that. Yeah, I mean, this is just my opinion. This is my 2 cents. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me to pull somebody on top of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, on the contrary, I'm trying to get ahead of the game instead. You know.
Yeah.
So it would make more sense to work for a takedown, or
Be in a
vice
dominant
versa,
position.
You know? Like the one thing I always thought was interesting when I would hear high level or more advanced guys say is like, oh well, I just pulled guard because I just couldn't take him down. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And I'm blown away.
you know, I understand dudes are bigger, whatever. But I mean,
Well,
you know,
if
you got to
somebody-
sharpen the tools. You know what I mean? It's
And that's how you sharpen them,
yeah,
right? By
you know,
going
it's
for
like
it.
I mean, I can't really think of something off the top of my head to compare it to, but that's like saying, oh well, you know,
Well, just shooting on someone. You shoot on someone, you fail. Somebody sprawls on top of you. They smash your face into the
Yeah.
ground. The next time you get a hold of the leg, you turn the corner, you might have them, they might get out of it.
Yeah.
But you keep shooting
But you
on
keep
people,
shooting, yeah.
and you develop that skill
I agree.
level, and you become sharpened at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And before you know it, you're shooting on people and they can't stop you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
And that's a skill level that a lot of wrestlers have, and the jiu-jitsu guys got to work on. You can see who comes from which background and which ideology. You know what I mean? And there were some sharp shooters there, man. Some guys who were lightning fast, just dropping people to the ground. They were not going to be stopped.
Okay, so going back to sorry to interrupt.
get on it,
no.
get
No,
I
on
found
it.
this interesting. So we also talked to Conca, right? That was the other.
Conca was there. They were cool.
Right.
They had some really cool concepts. They
Nice.
were working on some sweatshirts and stuff. I didn't get too much info, but we'll talk to them next time. These
But
guys are really cool, though.
Now, yeah. I guess we didn't speak too much in depth about what it was. I mean, we talked about the designs were cool and
Yeah.
this is that.
I mean, I
now
dig the
looking at
Raider
their-
design. Look at that.
But looking
Oh, yeah.
at this website and their business model, it's more like those subscription. It's a subscription clothing. So like it starts at $50.99 a month, and then you get a design, like a T-shirt design, every month. That's pretty cool. Something
Oh,
different,
okay.
right?
Sure.
They'll ship something to you. So
No way, really?
Yeah,
It's really
Oh, wow.
cool.
yeah. So it says, yeah, you get a membership service, and they send out each month a new authentic T-shirt of the month.
At your size. That's like beer of the month.
Not
I guess
bad.
it says it's the shirts are not generic or wannabe jiu-jitsu shirts. They produce these shirts in limited quantities. Sorry, so that's pretty cool too. Like
Yeah.
you get like a
You won't have
run
one
and
that
then-
1,000 people have
right
out
right,
in the
right.
world.
You're not gonna bump into somebody. Well, I mean the community might be small. You probably will bump into a couple people if you go into
Yeah, in a
like,
tournament you might see
but
'em.
not on the street. Maybe not. That's pretty cool.
All right. Oh, what are these gentlemen called again?
Jiu-Jitsu Shirt Club. Is
Yeah,
that what it's
jiu-jitsu-
called?
Or
Just
ladies and
Jiu-Jitsu
gentlemen, I should say.
Authentic T-shirts from Jiu-Jitsu Shirt Club.
Okay.
It's pretty
Nice.
Yeah, hit them up. Go online. Type in Jiu-Jitsu Shirt Club. They're cool
You said it
people.
was, so we had Conca, right? Conca, Ground Fighter.
Cool. Yeah, Conca's stuff looks pretty cool too.
Yeah, I
Like,
dig the black geese. If my instructor let me wear a black gi, I would buy one of those. But
Yeah, I
he won't.
mean-
So
Believe it or not,
believe-
I'm actually a huge fan of just the OG white geese, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
You think
I
they-
dig that
their
shit.
hats are cool. The Jiu-Jitsu hats, I dug those. I almost bought one of theirs.
They seem like a little supreme.
Yeah, I
You
don't know
know,
what Conca. Oh, it had a cool statement. I don't know if you could pull that up. It's an acronym for something else. Conquering, I don't know, something or other. But
Let's
it
see
meant
if I
something
can find it. Let's see.
Yeah,
what
it meant
says
something. About us. It's got to be there. But
What is Conca? It says continuous calculated action.
continuous calculate? I like that. That's very cool. They were cool people, so I'm glad we brought that up.
Nice. Shout out to everybody.
Yeah, cool,
Definitely,
cool
big
geese
time.
too, man, and cool hats.
Yep.
I'm digging those. And a good selection of spats and some rash guards too.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
designs are pretty.
I dug the hoodies, but they said
cool.
they were still working on them. I was going to buy one, so I had my hand in my pocket, and they said we don't have any. I said, you got one right there. I don't know, but it wasn't ready to be sold. I don't know.
This is interesting.
The
That's
Jiu-Jitsu
cool.
Letterman
I like it.
for the Jiu-Jitsu jock.
That's right. We got a few meatheads we roll with. Yeah, we get it.
It's all good.
Yeah, everybody's got a meathead in their club.
It's all good.
Yeah,
Any other shout outs?
yeah. We
Producer
got a big
Robert.
one. Let's get to it.
Let's get it. Yes. Let's give these good
We
folks
got out there, met
some
some cool
time.
folks,
Yeah,
yeah.
let's do it.
I mean, I think that's it that we had.
Did you go over Ground Fighter already?
Yeah, we went through Ground Fighter while you were talking.
Did you burn
So-
through their stuff? Let's see
Yeah,
their
I burned
stuff
through
again.
All their stuff. Yeah.
Did you? Okay, I'm
Yeah.
glad. I didn't
I
get to
haven't-
talk
I
about it
haven't
much,
found your
but there's
hat.
my hat right there.
Yeah, there's the hat you
It
bought.
just says roll because I'm a man with the jelly roll.
Yeah.
That's the one I
There's
bought.
that.
Yeah, it's legit. You can't really see it in that one, but I like it.
Oh, look,
there it
they
is.
have a picture of how
backwards.
you wear it.
That is how I rock my hat.
Nice. All in all, another eventful weekend.
Yeah, it was very cool. So next time I'm gonna drag you out.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
for me, like I have a short attention
sure.
span, but that tournament kept me attentive. So that was pretty cool.
He almost went to sleep 3 times because it was 95 degrees in there, but you know, it kept him going.
Fuck it, dude.
Yep.
Whatever.
Yep.
You
we,
know.
we had a good time, but hit us up in a week every Monday, 8 p.m.
Yep.
Coming at you live.
Always something to talk about.
Absolutely.
And shout out again to Russ Mira, his whole crew, his family, his wife,
Subfighter BJJ.
you know, his
yeah.
school.
Good
and
folks.
and his whole philosophy.
And
you
Tom
know.
Kenny Jiu-Jitsu out there in Corona, California. Look the man up. He
Yep.
watches our show, but he is our friend and brother, so we love him.
He's a huge supporter of us, and we
Yep.
support him too. So
Yep,
thank you again, man.
that's right.
You know
and
what I'm
John DeLo, if you're watching, we love you, brother.
Yep. Everybody else, subscribe, check it out, follow, the whole 9 yards. Thank you guys for checking us out. See you guys next week.
Yep.
Peace.
Peace. Rise and grind.